Aaron, how feasible do you think it is for us to like rebuild like a Shopify or like a WooCommerce?
I mean, pretty easy. I would have you talked to Chad about this at all? Because
No,
he
I
just
had.
built. He sent me here. Let me show you. We were testing some stuff today, and like I used. He sent me like a little script to try out.
Uh,
So if Chad, you're watching this, I'm
Shout out to
taking.
Chad.
Yeah, it's hosted currently on my thing, so I'm gonna show it off. 1 second. But like he's been working on. I believe it's something like this.
Okay.
Let me do this. Open. Oh yeah, there we go, buddy. Not now. Much better. Okay. So this is what he's been working on.
This looks so sketchy, bro. You're so dark.
I know, and then it's like the crib in
Yeah.
the background, it's like a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those that are watching, that's fine.
It's
This is
crazy.
I own this. Okay, this is my house.
Yeah.
Forget. Um,
Allegedly. Well, just
allegedly,
yeah.
allegedly, yeah. So he built this, and this literally was just an embed script.
Oh, okay.
So like it's a full checkout, and from my understanding, what he's building is basically the ability to have a whole backend like Shopify, WooCommerce type thing, and then a whole checkout sequence type deal where you can click things, do ordering,
Nice, bro.
these add-ons. I think his stuff is maybe more for food,
Yeah.
from my understanding. But I mean, this is pretty dang sweet, and it was literally like one script that I pasted in, and it was ready to rock and roll. So super easy to use too. So
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. Cause I like, I've got the whole Mr. Church Marketer like storefront is built on WooCommerce, which is cool.
Mhm.
But it's like, dude, if we could do it our own thing, it's better because we can just have access to everything that we want to do at the whim, just dropping it in
Yep.
and stuff. So,
I think you definitely could make your own. The payment thing, as long as you're going through, um, like Stripe, because Stripe, even though like I have my beefs with Stripe a little bit, um, I think it's gonna be easier because then you can have all your products and all of your kind of like setups in there, and then you can have it link over. So like every time you add a new product, it would just add a new product into Stripe, and then you would get a payment link and then handle it from there.
yeah.
Do you have many like cart things where it's like add to cart type stuff?
Yeah, I mean, everything, all of our stuff is added to cart, but it's all like, so the store is through PayPal, and then
Mm-hmm.
all of our agency stuff and Contact Current is through Stripe. So it's kind of like a
Yeah.
twofold kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, and we're trying to, like, I try to keep it that way so that the money is separate. Like all right, the physical products are over here, and then all the digital stuff's over here. It's a little bit easier to kind of track. We have a separate account for Contact Current, and then a separate account for Mr. Church Marketer. So I can see like the software is making this money, the agency work is making this much money, and then the print work is making this much money. So it's a little bit easier to kind of see, everything kind of broken down a little bit, and then all those three funnel into our one bank account. So the
Yeah.
whole business has one bank account, which is pretty cool. But I just thought about that the other day. I was like, you know what? I bet we could probably build this out. I don't know if it's worth it because I don't think it wouldn't be necessary for like client work, because usually I run from like e-commerce websites for clients, but for internal
Yeah,
use it'd be cool.
I definitely think it'd be easy to do. Um, yeah, I don't think it'd be hard. And also too, it goes back to my whole thing of like having everything in one space is makes life so much easier versus having in 5 or 7, 10, 12 different places
Yeah,
where you're fighting with it all the time.
yeah, yeah. I think that's definitely, I can definitely see the benefit of that, and that's like we were talking about to Carrie. It's like what I'm trying to do is I want to build like all of like the internal stuff over
Mm-hmm.
like in one thing, and then all of the like client facing stuff on the other thing. And I think that's kind of the best of both worlds. Just because it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know exactly like Carrie's use case, but for my use case, I'm not the CRM for us is going to be the same that it is for clients. Just pretty straightforward. So I
Yeah.
think mixing it all together just is just a risk of something getting jumbled up or whatever. So it's kind of keeping it separate makes more. So having two
Yeah,
two
okay.
mega apps instead of just one super mega app, I guess.
100%.
Kind of the deal. So let me kick up TikTok and let's just see if we get any action over there too. Just hanging out.
Well, if you want to see what I've been working on, so
Yeah, for sure.
for those watching, this is probably good for your audience. They probably like this.
Yeah. So if you're hanging out, it's just this is my buddy Aaron. He owns a company called DevLaunch, and what's the other one?
Hyperflow Cloud.
Hyperflow. Yeah. So they do a lot of stuff, development work, and they work with a lot of more agency side of things. But Aaron comes from the church world. He comes from the church space. So I thought, dude, we're friends. We're hanging out anyway. We were talking. I said, dude, let's hop on Zoom and just hang out. Kind of show everybody what you're working on. Kind of go over some stuff that I'm working on because I was going to work on it for a little while anyway. So we decided let's just hang out and do it. So if you guys have any questions for him, development work, any stuff like that, I know some of you guys aren't in the church space, so just ask away. We're just hanging out, so it's kind of open forum stuff. So yeah, man, show us what you're working on.
So this is more of the church side of stuff. And I thought, again, your crew would enjoy this. So a couple things that we do. And
You're
this
still
is for
echoing,
my-
Aaron. I don't know if you can figure that out.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll fix it. Give me 1 second.
I'm gonna click live on TikTok too, just to hang out over there.
Worse, good, sad.
That's about the same.
That's great.
Are you?
Can
Do
you
you have
bring
your
one more
speakers on?
break?
I think you're coming back through your speakers. I
Yeah.
think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, let me switch to headphones.
But yeah, so if you're hanging out with us, just let us know that you're here. Let us know what's up, what you're up to tonight. It's kind of late. It's not as late as we usually get on, so shouldn't be too terrible. But just hang out and see what some of the fellas are doing, bro. What everybody's up to. Aaron, get situated here. We'll just see what's going on. Aaron's got some stuff he's working on, and then I've got some stuff that we've been working on that I definitely want to share with you guys, and you know, just kind of work on it in public, work on it in the open, so you guys can see it. What we've got kind of cranking out. Got some cool stuff going on. I'll show you one of the things. Are you back?
Well, can you hear me better?
It's still echoing,
Worse.
bro. That's crazy.
Dude, I'm going through headphones now. I think that's all you. Are you playing back on Facebook?
No, I've got it through my headphones. Everything's muted on my end.
Dude, that's weird.
It is weird, bro. That's muted. Say something?
Hey.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's run it, bro. This is a hangout
Well-
session anyway. We're not doing anything super professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fixed the echo. It was me. I figured it out. It was the system. Oh, good, Mark. I'm glad he's not there. Okay, you're not echoing to everybody else. You're just echoing to me. So now, okay, hold on. There we go. I can't hear you now, Aaron.
Back to being an old man. Don't know how to use Zoom.
There we go. We're
Yeah.
back. We're back,
So,
baby.
as I was saying in my soapbox, we don't really work with churches as an agency. Nothing against it. It's just there's better people to do it that are great. And Mark, thanks for letting us know on Facebook that's not echoing.
It's me. It's on my end.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it from a start that it was.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, not surprised, right?
So all that to say, but I do help out. My dad's a pastor. I was a pastor a long time ago. So I do help out our church, and we have a creative team and all that fun stuff. But one thing we've been really exploring is using AI in our church, and I know that's a super scary thing that everyone's afraid of. But one thing we use it for is in our creative team, and I know all the creatives watching are probably like all angry at me. But I do believe, and I'll give like a little kind of feeling of it first, and then we'll kind of walk through some of the ideation. Is most of the time when we're designing something, like most of the content, most things that we put out are pretty basic. Like it's just the reality of a normal day-to-day church that is running an average number. Even the larger churches, you're doing booklets, you're doing some slides, you're doing some graphics, but we want to kind of give ourselves the ability to have a little more freedom and a little more structure and a little more creativity. So if we can spend some more time on the creative side and going with the look that we like and the style that we want, and then having AI do the hard work of building out the different assets and sizes and making things motion and all that fun stuff, well, that saves us a bunch of time, and then also it gives our creative staff more time to be with people and the things that they're really good at. So this is for an upcoming series, and right now we're like going through a bunch of different variations for like how we want to deal with animation, but this is all AI. So like the artwork is generated, we created the artwork, but the video content itself is all AI generated. The images were generated by AI. The text is actual editable text. That's a nice piece about if you're being smart with AI is you can layer things so you still have control, not just one static image or using like a video model and it's like whatever the text gives me is what I'm stuck with. No, we want to give some creative control on that front. So like things like this, again, it's probably a little choppy playback on Zoom, but like those types of things. Let's see, like this one we were playing with, up same loop. Like this one's pretty cool, um, where it's like if it would play back at the right frame rate for you guys, you'd be able to see how great it is. But like that content style to where we could have full motion graphics without having to jump into After Effects or Premiere, and it's simple. It's not anything crazy, but that gives us the ability to quickly generate content and be able to make edits before the weekend. And now our pre-service loops and in-service slides can have a little more creativity and a little more movement versus taking an hour in After Effects, waiting for it to render, having it screw up, and then having to go back and re-render it. Now it's just simply a prompt. I just jump into Codex or Claude and say, hey, we need to update this, or hey, can we flip this image, or hey, can we move this text here? The creative structure is there. We build a brand guide for the series and for the look and for the theme and for the season look that we're going for. But the ability to, at any time, for any of our creative staff to be able to jump into those tools and just quickly generate things, I mean, that's pretty sweet. So like I'll show you one more, and that's our next upcoming series. But you can see right here, we've got a full stack of files right here that we're working with. But like I'll pull up this one. This one we did a few months ago. You can see like right here, we have a full brand guide. Let me open this up so you guys can see it. I'll share it. But a full brand guide on here where it's like this whole structure of what's the series about, what's the color palette, what's the type system, what are the design elements that we're going for, what's the structure, taglines and copy, things that are approved assets, all the assets that we actually built out of this. So again, different texture overlays, do's and don'ts, because we have multiple people working on this. And again, this would be things that we'd want to do and want to build. But most of the time what happens is you get so caught up in just trying to get the actual work done that you don't have the ability to build this. And this now gives you the ability to leverage volunteers and team members and staff in a way better way, where you can say, hey, here's the brand guide, or they can take that brand guide to an AI tool and it can generate those assets for them in a really quick manner. So like even something like this, and this will be the last thing I'll show you, then I'll stop sharing the terrible frame rate of Zoom sharing. But if I go to like the home group curriculum, so we'll go to exports. And then it's like our home groups, they're small groups basically. We generate a PDF. We also do have like a sub-site with it for digital versions, but we have a PDF version that we share with people who want a printed copy. And so the ability for this to spin up, and again, this isn't generated text. Like our team actually does write this, and they give us a Word doc, and they say, hey, here's the curriculum for this series. And so does like our pastor, he writes the sermons. Like again, that process we're not having AI touch and be in the middle of. They're dealing with that on their side, and then they're providing us a document. We are using AI to spell check and double check things and make sure, hey, like, is this broken up into the right section? Hey, is this reading plan correct? Like, because sometimes people mess up and it's an accident. So we do have it double check our work a little bit, and that makes it really, really nice and helpful for consistency's sake. But like building this PDF, even though it looks pretty dang simple, like it's not anything crazy, this would have taken like someone like 4 hours.
Yeah, bro, it's pain.
Yeah, and so like this, the ability just to do this in 20 minutes, and it's in brand, and it looks good, and it fits the bill, does the job. I mean, even all these, like, all these different layouts and structures. I mean, we even have a tool that we built internally where it builds ProPresenter files actual full editable ProPresenter files for us. And so that way we can take all these content pieces, drop into ProPresenter, and still edit the text on a Sunday morning if needed. Like even transparent images, this is all editable. It's not just a generated ChatGPT image that I think most people are doing. And again, nothing wrong with that. I don't love the AI generated menus that we see everywhere, but it's hard to work with those when you can't edit them and you can't structure them in a way that works for your team and for your system. So like even this sermon bumper, I know I said the last thing, but I think again, your crew probably will enjoy this. Like sermon clips, we do the same thing. It'll cut all of our sermon clips for us for social media. And then if I go here, we'll go to outputs and exports. Maybe if I can find the sermon bumper. I think it's in here.
And the cool thing about what Aaron's sharing is a lot of these things that he's sharing is we're trying to work on, or we're finalizing, working on bringing those to our clients. So it just makes it easier. And it's not a sales, this is just hanging out, but Aaron and I have worked on some of this stuff to make it accessible to pastors that we work with that are working with us on other projects and working with us on Contact Current and on the Sunday Reach system, all that kind of stuff, to be able to have access to be able to do some of this stuff a lot quicker than, you know, having to hire another person or spend a lot of hours on their own. When you have tools, especially with leveraging AI, it's, you know, it's really cool how quick you can turn around some stuff, for sure. That good quality stuff too.
Yeah, well, if I see it, I'll pull it up. We're going to be on here for a bit anyways, but like even sermon bumpers and like lower third tags and all that kind of stuff, the stuff that we normally would need and it would take time to export, and it's not the fun side. The fun side and the creative side is like being creative and coming up with the idea and the system, not sitting there and going, I hope that this works and I'm going to sit here in After Effects or some other tool or Premiere or whatever it might be, or go find and shop for lower thirds and templates, all that good stuff. There's no point in wasting that time when you don't need to do that. Like you can have AI now do some of those pieces for you, but still be in the creative process of building the system out and the process out yourself and being creative in that sense. So
yeah, I think something that you've talked about, like just me and you, like on the side and stuff, is like the whole, like everybody's scared, or some people are scared of AI because they feel like it's taking over, or it could take over like the creative space. And so that's kind of like, there's people that are scared that work in the creative space. They're like, oh, they're coming for my job. Like AI's coming for my job. But there's also like people from the spiritual side of things are like, you know, I don't want to water down the message, water down the gospel. I'm afraid that if I use AI, that it's going to kind of change that. And I believe that it possibly could do that. But it's like you said, it's, you know, kind of like the verbiage in the AI world now is like human in the loop. And so what we're kind of proposing is not that you let AI do all of the work for you, but that you let AI help you. So things that you would do on your own already, just that, you know, let AI do those things. You check over it, you approve it, you make the final judgment call, you read over everything before it goes out, you look at everything and tweak designs and things like that are coming out. And so what you're doing is it's just like having like an intern. You know, if you leverage AI as an intern, I think you're okay. You're protecting, you know, the truth of God's word. You're protecting the quality of the graphics and the video that's produced. But you know, some people get crazy with it and just like whatever comes out, they're just rolling with it, and that's where you have a problem. Or even worse, you're letting AI write your sermons or AI writing your blog posts and stuff like that. And it's like, listen, man, if you're just shipping it when it comes out, you're missing the boat. But if you're using it to, you know, get you there, get you started, I think that's where you can have some really crazy stuff and cool stuff happen. And you know, even like with us, like on the software side of things, you know, you're building software and you're spending hours, you're, you know, hiring development teams, you're having, you know, all this expense that's coming out, but then at the same time, you can ideate a lot quicker. Like, hey, what if we move this to this, and you can get a quick, like, you know, just a screen grab of or a screenshot of what that would look like, and it helps you say, oh yeah, that's how I want it to look. So then you can go to your development team, or you can go to your staff and say, hey, here's what we want to look like. I've already got you a picture of this. You know what I mean? I already got you kind of somewhere to be, instead of trying to explain it. You know, we were in a meeting earlier today, and one of the guys that was hanging out with us was like, yeah, so I'm trying to explain this to you guys, but I really like need to draw it out first. You know what I mean? And so with AI, you can do that. You can say, hey, here's my idea. Here's what I'm thinking. Walk it through it, and it can sketch up an image for you that you can share with your team. You can share with, you know, even like your congregation, to share them like, hey, here's the vision of I got a friend of mine that's a pastor, and they are going through a remodeling project. It's kind of like a revitalization of a church. And so
Yeah.
one of their things was, hey, I'm gonna take pictures of all these areas of the church, and then I'm gonna put it into ChatGPT. And hey, here's what I'm looking for. Here's an example of what I want it to look like. And
Yep.
ChatGPT spun up this. Here's what it looks like now. And after if we meet our goal financially, we're able to flip this. So it's pretty cool stuff. So yes, Lisa, my wife does know I'm so handsome. Thank you. That's my mom. So shout out, Mama. Love you. Thank you for hanging out. So anyways, yeah. So we're just I think it's really cool the things that AI can help us do, man. Like just to make it so much easier, and it kind of, I was talking to my mom about this the other night. It's almost more fun playing with AI and seeing what it can build up than it is actually like doing something that you used to find fun and relaxing and just kind of something that you enjoy doing, because your mind is just the limit. There's no limit to the creativity that you can have when you're, hey, I'm thinking about this, and you go to AI and like, hey, show me what this would look like, or and that sort of stuff. It's really cool to something
it's a tool for like ideation.
Yeah, like, ideation. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah,
like you get the ability now to think through things. The careful parts are the pieces that we've kind of been harping over and over, is like human in the loop. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
It's probably at least 45 times every single time we do a call, but like human in the loop, double check things, and then don't get so caught up in AI that you can't like walk away for 5 minutes and write something down. But after you write something down, ideating about it with AI, and again, not in a agreeance standpoint of like, hey, I need you to agree with me, but like having it be the bad cop, having it push back, having it help you think about some other ideas, and then taking that and then go ideate some more, and then go bring it back to the table. And it's like, okay, I think I know what I want to do. But even in the same sense of like design work or creative work, it's like now in what used to take 4 days to get 7 mock-ups, well, now I can get 7 mock-ups in a couple hours, if that.
Yeah.
And I can, okay, these are good starting points. What can we do to work these up? Like we'll even take sometimes a sketch drawing and take that and throw it into an AI model and go, okay, like what would this look like with an idea of kind of where we want to go? And then it gives us reference of like when we're actually building the structure or the brand guide or the content. It's like, okay, I think we want to go with this. I like how it did this. Let's take these ideas, build out a plan, and then we'll bring it back into the system to actually execute those things. So like that's a great way to manage it versus just saying, build me something and I'm going to use it without even thinking about it.
Yeah, and another cool thing is too is like, especially like in the church space, like there's so many different ideas out there, and a lot of people are using these companies to create graphics that they're templated graphics, and they're paying a subscription for it anyway, and so they're going in there and kind of like Mod podges them up together. And I mean, there's one lady I'm thinking off the top of my head that she's great. Like, that's what she does. Like the graphics at the church look awesome, but that's literally, she has 3 different these templated subscriptions she's with, and she just kind of takes a piece of this and takes a piece of that and throws it all together. And if she would understand how to leverage AI to do a lot of that, what she's trying to do, it could just make her life a lot easier. Just, hey, here's some concepts, kind of blend these together, things like that. And it's really cool, the things that you can do with it. So I think it's definitely a tool that can be used for good. And if you use it right and understand it, it's just, the level of productivity you can gain back from your day is just insane. Like, a pastor friend of mine, we were talking about one of the things that we're rolling out with our new website builder that we've got coming out is going to have the ability to, what's up, Donnie? How you doing, man? Is when you upload a YouTube video of your sermon every week, it's going to automatically produce a blog post for you, automatically produce a small group study guide, automatically produce an email that go out to your congregation with, hey, here's the quick recap of pastor's message this week. Click here to watch it. And all these things are automatically being able to generate themselves, just with like literally just uploading the link and waiting 5 minutes, and boom, it's slamming it into your system there. So that now what was taking hours of time to sift through notes, and most people just weren't even able to do it, to have that ability to create, I think Brady Shearer, one of the kind of the lead guys in the church space, is like, something he used to always say is, you have the content, like you spend all this time preparing your message, preaching your message every week, but then all you're doing is preaching it on Sunday morning, uploading it to YouTube, and then calling it a day. Well, there's so much content that can be ripped out of that. And so that's what we're trying to do with our new suite of tools, And with us, rebuilding our software from the ground up is creating a suite of tools that's not just for communication, your text and your email and all that, but then with the new website builder to be able to make that one video that you have of your sermon be able to do way more and way less effort, because it's literally using your words, your concept, your content that you sought the Lord for, you sought the time to dive into it and to prepare the message, and now we're just taking the time you've already spent and just maximizing it. So it's really cool to be able to take that. I know, clips, we've talked about that earlier, to be able to take that long form and pull the clips out, and throw some text on top of those clips and not have to have another I mean, everything you do requires more team or more time from the team you already have. And so most of the time it's kind of like, do I want to give them more stuff to do, or do I need to hire somebody else? Then that's kind of where the tear is, like, do we have the money to hire someone else or not? And so then you just, the church space is just creative. The church creative space is just overwhelmed with burnout. And I mean, I've been in that space for years, man. And you see it, like, these guys are working from sun up to sundown, working. Like, I have a personal friend of mine that was a video director at a church, and dude, he was in office on Christmas Eve like 2 years ago, and Thanksgiving night he's like, finishing up dinner and then having to pull out his laptop at the Thanksgiving dinner table to crank out a graphic because it had to be done by the next day, and it's just crazy stuff. So, a lot of stuff has to get done.
All these processes that have originally, and again, it's not a bad thing, been very expensive, very time consuming, and because they are creative, like, it's creative. Like, I'm not saying it's not creative, but the system part of it has lost the fun. And so now with these tools, you get to pick what you want to spend time on. And I think that's important, is like a testimonial video or a baptism video or a story video. Of course, spend time on making that story fantastic, telling that story, because it's going to do some awesome stuff. But the lower thirds that you're going to see for 13 seconds on screen on Sunday, do not spend that time or that money on that. Like, you shouldn't be. You should be having AI build those for you. Like, build the structure, be creative in how you want it to look, spend the 20 minutes doing that, and then tell Claude or Codex or whatever tool you want to go build them out, export them, and be done. Like, that's the stuff where it's like, it's a time management thing, and now we've got these tools that help us do this and be more creative. And I think the fearful part is sometimes, I think, especially younger creatives, always believe that they're going to lose their job overnight because of this. And I don't think that's the case. I think, honestly, this is like old man Aaron for a second. I think, honestly, if you came to the table with some systems to show that, hey, I'm managing the time and stewarding the money that you guys are investing in me. Yes, it's a job, but they're cutting stuff out of the budget to pay you. So be aware of that. That's cool. That's not bad. You earn it. You deserve it. But if you're managing that well and being smart about how you manage it, so that way you can focus on the things that bring people into the room, and tell the story of why we actually do what we do, versus spending 3 days on lower thirds. I mean, that's a pretty big thing to do. And I think leadership, especially if you're in a healthy place, definitely respects the heck out of that. Now, if you're not in a healthy place, I'm sorry. That's a different get out
while you can. Get out.
But like, that definitely, like, you're using the tools that are around you in a way that makes sense while still being creative. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, I'm sure when Premiere came out with the what was it a few years ago, it was like the auto cut thing, or whatever, like, people were like, no one was like, I'm gonna lose my job over this. I'm sure people lost their jobs over that tool. But like, it's no different than that. Like, I'm not having AI decide what we're preaching on Sunday, but I'm having AI help me pick out the things that might be good. And then I'm going to go through and watch them, be like, okay, that resonates. That works. Now cut them, add captions. Because I don't need to sit here for 45 minutes to manually add captions for every single word. I can just have AI do it. I can double check it, make sure it fits, post it, ready to rock and roll.
And the thing too is, like, you think about like creating those clips, which, I mean, it goes back to like something that's valuable, that doesn't have to be this 4 or 5 hours long process, when it's literally, I've got to listen to the sermon, that 45 minutes to an hour sermon. I've got to time stamp it. Then I've got to go in and clip those pieces out, and then I've got to adjust the audio, and I've got to, maybe do some like color grading on each clip a little bit differently, and then I've got to go in, and now I've got to put in the captions and type it out manually, all that stuff. Dude, the days of that is so just far removed that AI can sense, like, here's a height of part of the message, and even if you have to do that part of it, dude, you have a brand font that you put on, or you know, a series font that you use on the whole series, and all that stuff's there. The colors are there, and it knows how to slam that text on there, man, and just and rock it out. It just the time that it could save you guys, and not only save you time, but then go to your pastor or you know your executive pastor, creative director, whoever, and just to be able to say, hey, look, here's what we did, and we use AI to do it. The quality of your work is going to be so much better, and it's going to be so much faster. It's just a no-brainer. So
Yep.
yeah, it's just
Well, even with that, like with the, and we can end on this because we could probably spend all night talking about
yeah,
this, like
yeah,
the
for sure.
thing. Even a piece of if you're watching it live in the room, and you're like, maybe you aren't a great note taker. I do think you should take notes and use a physical Bible. That's old man Aaron again for a second. But like, maybe you're not, or you missed something, but you knew that was a great moment in the room. That's the beauty of AI. You don't need to rewatch the whole thing to find that one moment. You can just say, hey, I remember Pastor did X, Y, and Z around point 2. Can you go find that moment?
Yep.
And it will do a pretty dang good job of finding that moment for you. And then you can adjust from there. So like, again, those are pieces that save your butt and then also save time because you got sidetracked looking at Facebook on your phone, even though you shouldn't be on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, I would get it. It's life. It all happens. It's okay. But like, those are things that are just win, and it doesn't hurt anything. It helps you along the way. Like, it goes back to don't let it make decisions for you. Don't let it drive the car. Let it kind of co-pilot, and then you steer where you're going and make the decisions from there.
Yeah, I think another thing too, like go to something else, but is you know you think about like washing your car. You know, like you want to be the one driving it. That was a good analogy. Like you want to be the one driving it, but at the same time, everybody hates washing their car. So you know, it's like, hey, I'll have the AI wash my car, but then I'm gonna go back and make sure that everything's, you know, there's no water spots. I'm gonna make sure that, you know, there's nothing with scratch, that sort of thing. It's the same kind of deal. If you go back over it with a fine tooth comb and you set up the guardrails and parameters up front, I think that's where the most time needs to be spent, is like building the machine. If you build the system out and you build the machine out to know what you want to have happen and repeatedly happen the same way, I think it's just the sky's the limit to what you can do with it. So it's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, man, well, I digress. But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, man, that you guys have worked on, like just for your dad's church, that, you know, you guys aren't really even, you know, in the church space too much anymore, but just to be able to do that is pretty awesome. So I love it, man. I think it's great stuff. I'll kind of show like some stuff that we're kind of working on. I'm gonna pull.
Yeah, show it off, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm excited to kind of show this. I'm gonna pull us over here, and then I'll pull it up. My beautiful desktop here. So this is what we've got kind of working as we're going through everything. I'll just kind of show you what's kind of a dummy website. I don't know what I can show, what I can't show, what I should show. Let's see. I'll kind of show this. So it's pretty neat to be able to see, I'm going to blow it up, what you can see on, as far as going into these, the new editor is pretty neat that what we've got coming out. So just to be able to see a website that we built, and then to be able to see the whole, like, just vastness of what can be created, and just the ease of use now that we're kind of putting through here. So it just kind of has all these options. We're kind of looking at the other, like, church website builders that are out there and trying to say, here's a good feature that they have, here's a good feature that they have, here's a good feature that none of them have, and kind of bringing them all together. That's kind of create that all-in-one suite. And one of the things that we're, like, super excited about is the form builder. And it's not quite ready yet, so I'm not going to show you guys that, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice what we're having to do with that. But just to be able to have the pages just laid out where you can see all of your pages, everything that's there, to be able to have the functionality. And again, this is not finished yet, but just be able to have the functionality of going to a certain spot in the page, click it, text it, you know, change the text, change what it says, change what it does, edit an image super quick, drag it in there, and then to be able to have, I'm trying to think of what, like, the cool stuff to show you guys. It's ready. Just to be able to create these kind of content pieces where here's the video and then here's what's going to come out of it, and drag all that stuff in and be able to move it around. Let me see if I can drag a dummy video.
I mean, even the fact of that you guys have the ability to just quickly click on something. I know most people take that for granted nowadays, but it's not, like, from a development standpoint, it's not as intuitive as people think it is. So, like, doing on a website where you click and then you can edit and you can do what you want from there. That's pretty sweet. And then also, like, you look at most of the CRMs or the CMSs, the church management systems. It's basically a CRM. But you look at those systems, and their website builders are pretty limited. Again, some of them are fine; they get the job done, but they're pretty limited. So having kind of some of those pieces in this one space is pretty sweet.
Yeah, and then just like to try to think through like what will make it. There's kind of two parts of it, right? So for the church world specifically, it's we want to make it easy enough for the person that doesn't really know web design. They don't know
Yeah.
code. They don't know how to build a website from scratch. They don't know all that stuff. So what's intuitive for them to use, but then at the same time, we have pastors that are graphic designers, that are web designers, or they've done that in the past, and so they know how to do all this stuff. So there's builders out there that are really great at one or the other. Like, okay, if you're a web designer, cool, you can use WordPress or you can use Squarespace
Yeah.
and really like finagle it and really beef it up to be this great thing, and just on a week in and week out be able to add things and take things away and all that. But then the other side, you have people that never touched a website before, and so it's well, it's really easy for them to add stuff and take stuff away that they're going to do in a routine every week. But then what you're
Yeah.
doing with that part, if it's too easy, then there's no like customization, right? It's just so simple you can't do anything. And then if you make it
Yep.
super customizable, then for the people that most of the time are going to actually be in there, adding an event or uploading the sermon, that sort of thing. Like it's too complicated for them to do it, and there's a risk of breaking the site altogether, which we have happened. We've
Yeah.
had large churches, 2,000, 2,500 member churches that their web designer just ups and leaves them, and now they're stuck with needing to edit on the website and they can't do it, and so they have to call us and say, hey, look, you guys didn't build the website, but our website designer, that was on the team, our creative guy, he's gone. And so we need you to kind of take it over. Can you do that? Sure. And so we're having to go in there and figure out what in the world they built and how to edit it and make it make sense. But we had the team that knows how to do that, so we're able to do it. So we're trying to build something out here that makes it kind of the best of both worlds. You have the customization. It's there. It's, if you know what you're doing, if you know more about that stuff, you have the ability to open things up and to move things around and to kind of add and to expand it. But if you don't understand it, it's easy to go in here. Like for this, it's like our site style is where you go in and you can change the color and the text on every element on the website. So it's shared components on every piece of the website, which is really cool to make all of the header text is going to be one font. You set it up at the beginning. All the body text is going to be the same font throughout the whole website. All the buttons are going to be the same shape. The colors are going to be the same. You got your primary color, your secondary color, your third tier color. All those colors are going to be there and be accessible and set up at one time, and they're going to all match on the whole site. So no matter what you do in the future, what you add or take away, those things are going to really just create that unified brand across the whole website, which is really neat. But with that, what's up, Bobby? We are just going over some things that we're working on. So me and Aaron are hanging out. So yeah, dude, hang out with us. So now what we're doing is we're going out working on, okay, if this font is like kind of unified across the whole thing, but this one piece, I want to change it, you have the ability to do that. So it's kind of giving you this template of everything's the same, everything's matching, but if you want to go and change it, that one specific item, you can change the font, which is pretty awesome to be able to have both of those customizational pieces. So pretty cool stuff.
It goes back to like you think about in any space, in any industry. Like again, obviously your industry is focused on nonprofits and churches. I know you guys are expanding into regular businesses too, but like the ability for someone who maybe is not a web designer or comfortable with web design to quickly go do something without having to contact 5 people.
Yeah.
Like that's game changing in the sense of it's just simple. So like on a Sunday afternoon or on whatever day or whatever might happen where they want to go change a photo or upload some photos or change some text on something, like that's a huge win. Because again, you remove the friction of having to send 5 emails or to hope someone's on there and all those like random pieces that people don't think about being in the way of things, but usually are in the way of things. So like I think that's a really cool model to be able to just make it easy. And when that's the goal of making it easy, well, you've done that. That's a win. And again, making it easy where you can not mess it up too much.
Yeah, too much. That's the key.
Like, you have freedom to change it and mess with it. And if you're more advanced, you get some of those extra tools, but you're not going to break the whole thing. And I assume I'm assuming on features here, but I assume there's like some versioning and some backups and autosaves and stuff. So like, even if they did mess it up, Well, there's an autosave, so we just pull right back to that one, and then we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's super helpful, especially for, again, you think businesses or whatever industry you're in. You got a gentleman or a lady who maybe isn't very comfortable with those tools, and they can jump in there, do those things, jump out, mess it up, and then go, well, I messed it up. Let's go switch back to an autosave version, and it goes live immediately without having to 4 weeks for a developer to get back to you.
Yeah, which I mean, because that happens to us. We build custom websites, and then the member goes in there, and they're whoever it is on the staff goes in there and screws something up, and then they're like, oh, we need this fixed right now. And it's like on a Saturday night. It's like 10 o'clock at night. You're like, bro, nobody's home. You know what I mean? Like nobody's here working at their computer at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night before service, but like the giving link's down. Like we've got to have this fixed. Like literally, we have a small business we work with, and they got locked out of their email, and it was Saturday night at 10 p.m. and they're like, bro, we need this fixed. Well, I just happened to be, around my computer and saw it, so I was able to help them. But the same thing with the website. Like if that happens, there is that revert feature. We call it our guardian feature, and so we kind of like just call it our guardian feature that allows you to see that versioning and to be able to do that, which is really neat. I'll kind of pull that up and show you kind of how that works. And so it's just literally live like versions of how that, how I can go back. So it auto saves like every minute. So it's auto saving constantly while you're on the site, just watching. It's just saving and saving and saving it. And then if you need to go back, you literally can just go back and hit this, and you can see that version. I'm trying to pull this out for you. It's really neat to see. We've moved some stuff around.
This is the beauty of Zoom.
Yes,
if we're gonna do this more often. We're gonna have to make some updates to our tool.
Yeah.
For the streams. It already can technically stream. I've never tested it though because I don't stream to any social platform. So maybe we'll give that a shot this week sometime.
Yeah, for sure. So just restore a version. So you click restore a version, and you have the initial version that was at 11:09. So it was just like a few minutes ago when the initial version was done on this. This is old, so this is not accurate, but. Yeah. You see, like basically what's happening is you have the ability
to see.
I
mean, you got a list of them, and you click the one that you need to go back to.
And it goes back to it. Yeah, so it's pretty cool to be able to see that stuff, to have that ability. One of the things that we were talking about was the SEO stuff. So the SEO and the AIO, right, or the AEO, whatever. It changes depending on who you talk to, but the AI search results, all that stuff's kind of baked into this, so that we're leveraging AI to say, hey, look. Here's our website. We've got it finished. All the copies there. Everything's there and laid out. Now we want you to go and read the site and create these documents and these tags and these meta tags and all this search engine stuff that needs to happen and live on the site, so that search engines and AI search is really seeing your website, understanding what your website's about, understanding what your church is about or your business, and then putting it in those places where people are searching for you and it actually shows up. So it's pretty cool to see how that stuff kind of works.
Too, like this whole SEO, AEO, all the stuff that's coming out right now. This is where I see for everyone, honestly. This is where people get screwed. Like this is where you pay too much money. This is where you got the scammy guy who says he can rank you #1 on every single thing in the universe, and it's only $4,000 a month. Or you've got a Google ad credit that we're gonna uncover in the secret of some place, and a Facebook ad credit, and all the craziness. Like I've seen all of it, and it doesn't get better every day, especially with AI. So the fact that simplifying the process where they can do this some of this themselves after assuming you guys are gonna do some training and helping.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Or you guys run it where they can visually see what's happening in their business. That is such a massive win, because right now it's such like a secret industry of like, I don't know how SEO works. It's just magic. And when it doesn't work, I'm mad. When it does work, I'm still mad. And so it's like just visualizing and saying, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is how you can see it. And then also, if you want to go change some stuff, you got an event coming up, you've got a pop-up, you've got some special thing happening where you need to make an edit to that page specifically, or you're focusing on a new offer if you're in the business space, or a new thing at your nonprofit or church. Like, you got a lot of options now at your hands that you can do. And again, I know other builders have this, but the cool part is it's usually hidden under 4 or 5 menus. It's not easy to get to. It's not easy to understand. So the fact that you guys are making it simple for people, massive winner right there.
Yeah, man. I think it's just, again, it goes back to what we were talking about, like trying to figure out like how do we make this happen? How do we make this the most easily accessible, most like moving the needle forward as much as we can on autopilot for these churches and these businesses is what we're trying to do. But then with actually having like results that are worth having, right? And so We want to create something that does that. And with all of this living inside of, our communication software that really leverages everything up to, you know, we were talking about this earlier today, like, or not you, I was on another call, sorry. I was on another call today and with a pastor, and he was talking about, hey, what do you guys do? Trying to learn about kind of our services and everything. And one of the things he said was, man, I'm just so tired of having all these different like elements of software. One lives here, one lives there, one's doing this. And we just want one piece of software that can handle everything for us. And I'm like, bro, that's what we're building. So we've built that with Contact Current. We built that with all of our text and email and the Google reviews and all that stuff living in one place, social media, all that stuff's there. But now adding on the website builder, where we had a website builder, but it was just barely getting you by. And now to have kind of like a more, higher tier, more premium, for the lack of a better term, builder that actually allows all these kind of more premium features. And we're going to include it in the price. It's not going to cost anymore. Yeah. It's really cool. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, man, it's going to be cool stuff. I'm excited about rolling it out and letting these churches and small businesses get their hands on it and be able to see it. So it's cool to see what we built. Having you guys help us build a lot of this stuff out is really cool. And so yeah, man, it's neat to hang out with everybody and kind of show them kind of what you're building, what you guys have, how you guys are using AI just at your local churches are pretty cool. And just kind of help people think through that, because there's a million different ways you can use it. You just have to think. I think that's the most, kind of like, I guess as we wrap this up, the most common thing that I think, the most common theme through all of this is use your head, like be the human in the loop. Yep. Like AI is not going to outthink you. You think it can, but it doesn't. One thing it can't do yet is taste. It doesn't have the taste aspect of what is it supposed to look like? How does it look? And the taste of your church or your business might vary from Aaron's church and Aaron's kind of deal. So that's the cool thing about, hey, I want AI to work for me, and I don't want to work for AI. I want AI to do what I want to do. I want to steer the taste, steer the style, steer the ability that it has, and use your brain, use your creativity, use your strategy, and bake that into the AI. Then I think you're on something pretty powerful there. So, yeah, man, I think that's kind of, for me, that's kind of a cool kind of segue into kind of wrapping things up. I know that, it's late for us on the in the Central Time Zone. You guys are still a little bit behind us, but I know for the guys in the East Coast, it's almost 12 o'clock there. And so, yeah, man, cool stuff. Any final thoughts for you just hanging out, man, and what are you seeing as AI kind of progresses? Any final thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I mean, keep yourself in the loop. Don't let AI drive, and don't get stuck on the shiny object syndrome. Like, there's going to be a new thing that comes out every week. It's just going to happen. Things are moving quick. It doesn't mean you need to buy every subscription or download every piece of software. Like, take it slow, think through things, make good decisions, and then also build the system. Like, at some point, you actually got to do the work. So you just playing with AI for 6 months, you've lost a bunch of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy. So don't get caught up in that stuff, and don't be afraid to try stuff out. So, like, I tell people when we're talking about like what subscription should I get, sign up for both. Just sign up for the $20 plan first. Don't sign up for the 400 mega plan that's going to give you every single thing that you think you need. Don't sign up for that. Just sign up for the $20 plan, see which one you like, test it out, and then go from there. So take it slow, use your brain. These tools are meant to be sold to you, so be aware of that. And again, I don't know how else to say other than just use your brain.
Yeah, I think you said it, man. Like, building the system is the number one thing you can do. So, my kind of parting thoughts or whatever would be to use AI to help you build your system. So, hey, here's what I do. Here's what I'm trying to streamline. Here's what I'm trying to make easier. Whatever AI you're using, like, help me think through that and think through that process of how that works. I mean, Aaron and I were talking earlier today, like, one of the things that we're doing is fine-tuning our onboarding process, fine-tuning kind of our follow-up sequences we have with clients that we have a call with and then don't follow up with, that sort of thing, and having those things in place to do that. It's just really incredible to think through, hey, look, here's what I'm doing. Here's the goal, the outcome goal that I'm trying to get to. Help me get there. Help me plan it out and write it through. Use that as a baseline to go through and say, oh, yeah, I need to text that guy. Even if you're doing a follow-up system at your church, hey, how do I follow up with a guest that comes the first time? Hey, we have it built out so you can just rely on us. We'll help you get it installed. But if you're trying to do it on your own, then just let AI help you think through that, what those messages say on the cadence of when they should go out. Whatever your business is, whatever your church organization's thinking through, hey, if you're a creative director at your church, How can I build a system that's going to help us intake communication requests and intake, graphic requests and stuff like that? And how can we build that system out? So much that you can do that you need to do, but you don't know quite how to do it. AI can help you think through that. Use your brain on top of that and dial it all in and really help you think through. And so I spend a lot of time just actually doing that with AI. Like, hey, be a partner, be a business partner with me, be a sounding board. I've had this idea. What's the best way to get that goal? And it'll help you do that too. So that's it, man. Just use your brain, build the system, and the model AI is not really important. As long as you have the system in place and you're working it, it's going to work. So that's what I'll say tonight. So thank y'all for hanging out. It's been fun. Aaron, love you, bro. Appreciate you. Always good hanging out with you. It seems like we hang out all day the last few weeks, but it's good stuff. So, yeah, man, you guys, thanks for hanging out. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I know the same with Aaron. We'd love to talk to you and help you through whatever you're going through, what you're trying to figure out. And, yeah, man, thanks all for hanging out. God bless. See y'all later.